Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. And Alexander Isak, what have you done? You won us the game against Liverpool with that fantastic finish at Wembley in March. 70 years in the making, and it's nearly ruined, if not ruined already, because of the way he's acted and that statement yesterday evening. That was very, very tough to take as a Newcastle United fan, let's be really honest, because he's basically admitting what everybody knows. He's absolutely conned the club, if you like. He's absolutely conned them. And it stinks of desperation. I said that on a tweet yesterday. It's just complete and utter desperation. And I don't think everything adds up accordingly either, if I'm being really, really honest. I think you can't tell me in the space of a couple of weeks that he's always thought that there was a gentleman's agreement in place for Alexander Isak to leave the football club. No. You can see in videos, you can see, well, what the public have seen, that he's wanted to stay, or at least, he's wanted to be involved. And you look at it now and you think, well, did he actually want to do all that? You're kind of almost double guessing yourself, you're double bluffing yourself, if you like, which is just awful. Say if someone said after the cup final that this was going to happen, I'd have been so surprised. I really, really am. And now there are rumours circulating that Liverpool are now exploring an £130 million bid to sign him. Two issues: you're 20 million shy at least, Liverpool Football Club, and we haven't got any replacements. We haven't got any strikers at this minute in time. Will Asula, for me, is not a striker. I think he's more of a right winger, and he's still not the best striker that we've got right now. I've got the Premier League table just to the side of me there, and that shows you where Newcastle United are after one game. But it's there because if Newcastle actually had a striker on Saturday, they would be near the top. And I know it's only one game, and it's probably a ridiculous thing to say, but that is the situation. Newcastle created chances on Saturday. If they had an Alexander Isak or a Johan Visser or even a Callum Wilson, they would have won that game on Saturday, and that just tells you how much a striker was needed. It really, really was. Look, Isak's behaviour has been absolutely appalling. I'll be honest, I actually felt sorry for Alexander Isak not too long ago, before all this happened. I thought, you know what, yeah, the club are lacking a little bit of ambition. They aren't being a big club, if you like. They're not really striving to go above and beyond. It was a mess about 4 weeks ago, before that Celtic game and all that speculation, when the Hugo Ekitike deal to Liverpool or Newcastle, whoever it was going to be at the time, didn't circulate for whatever reason. It is massive, a massive week and a bit of this transfer window for Alexander Isak and Newcastle United, because I thought Newcastle's statement was spot on. They didn't really go toe-to-toe in terms of the statement. They just showed their disappointment, but they showed a bit of steel about them. But look, right now we're in a situation that if we don't get a replacement or an adequate replacement for Alexander Isak, he does not leave the football club unless a silly offer goes in. And that may have to be over £150 million, which I don't think any club's willing to pay. Liverpool may go to 130, but again, I think that will be instantly rejected. I really, really do. These owners, I've had a lot of questions thrown at them the last couple of weeks, and they're answering them a little bit. They've brought in players that Eddie Howe wants to bring in, like Jacob Ramsey, a big player for Eddie Howe as well that we've mentioned. So Alexander Isak, will have to look at these players and may think they may be my teammates in God knows how long. I might have to play with them for another year, which, look, maybe not ideal for him, but it's ideal for the club. And that's the big message. Newcastle United are bigger than one player, and one player can't dictate how their transfer window is going to happen. It's going to have to take something extraordinary now. I don't see Alexander Isak leaving Newcastle United this summer. I really don't, unless a silly offer comes in, which I don't think will happen. Who can Newcastle United really replace Alexander Isak with? Because Johan Visser is the Callum Wilson replacement, if we get that over the line. Tottenham have been linked with him in the last couple of hours as well. So it just shows that whatever Newcastle's next move needs to be the right move. And it needs to be the move that all parties can agree on. Eddie Howe said something on Saturday against Aston Villa, which was quite interesting. He says he wants this sorted as soon as possible. We all want this sorted as soon as possible. I get that. However, even he will admit that it needs to be the right decision for Newcastle United going forward. Which strikers are there that we can realistically get? Sesko's gone to Manchester United. Gyökeres has gone to Arsenal. Would Gyökeres have realistically come to Newcastle? Probably not. Sesko, we offered more money, but we still didn't get the player. That just shows that there's still some players that won't go to Newcastle for whatever reason. Champions League football, you would have thought most people would want to be playing for a Champions League team that's progressing, the likes of Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes. We say Alexander Isak, but before all this kind of happened as well. So that tells you everything about what Newcastle United can do going forward. But there isn't anybody at the top of my head I'm going, yeah, let's go and get him. We're looking at Samu from Porto, who's got a bit of an injury and been credited saying 80 million euros. We're not going to touch that. We're not going to go 80 million euros for a player that's, let's be honest, relatively unproven right now. Jakob Strand-Larsen does nothing for me at all, if I'm being honest. I think he had an okay season at Wolves, but it's a jump up from playing for Wolves than playing for Newcastle and expecting to score goals. Too much of a gamble, too much of a risk. There's nobody out there. Newcastle are going to have to just play hardball for another year and see what happens. It's going to be really, really interesting. If there's anybody that you can think of in the comments, get your comments in or reply to all the comments in the video as well in terms of any particular strikers that you could go, yeah, Newcastle should be definitely going for him. But Johan Visser, maybe. That's your Callum Wilson replacement. If it's Visser and Isak, not bad at all. I've seen a lot worse. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the Alexander Isak debacle. And again, get your thoughts, get your comments, like this video. And if you could subscribe to the Jonathan Greenwood YouTube channel, and I'll see you for a video after the Liverpool game on Monday night.